Catalina. Today I'm going to be talking about the lack of access to education for women. In many developed countries, there has been a rise of educated women, also a large amount of underdeveloped nations that suffer from a lack of women in education. This affects the women in these countries and the world. On DAL.gov in 2012, there was a 6.8% of women who attained less than a high school diploma compared to men with only 10%. It's not a big percentage difference, but there still should be more done to help women go back to going to school. There is 25.5% of women with a lack of high school diploma and no college compared to men with 29.4%. Because of the lack of education, getting a job will be hard, thus having a higher unemployment rate. In 2012, the unemployment rate for women was 12.1%, and that was between the ages of 16 and 24. Having an education in life will play an important role to improve one's financial and economic status. There is still work to be done to help women go back to school. Girls are excluded from education in low poverty regions. These are still girls that are enrolled in school but don't learn enough to be prepared for the job market, making it hard to find a good job. Access to secondary and higher education is limited, and the quality of education given is often too low. Illiteracy is the highest among women by an average of 42% of girls or women are illiterate. The number of people over the age of 15 that are illiterate is 50,057 compared to men with only 26,671. Having an education can still be a key to reduce poverty. In more than 20 developing countries, 70% of women are illiterate because they are more likely to go to school and not finish. Educated women and girls are less vulnerable to get HIV infections, human trafficking, and be victims of other exploitation, and more likely to marry and have children later in life. In developing low-income countries, an additional year of education increases a person's future income by 10%. Child marriage is also a major factor that causes girls to drop out of school. There's a 60% dropout rate, and it's estimated that 15 million girls are married before turning 18. After that, they leave the education system. One of the main reasons women or girls don't go to college is because it is costly. Even if one applies for financial aid, it can still be expensive, especially if a woman is a single parent or has a big family to raise. A semester alone can cost up to $15,000, let alone a year. Having kids and going to school at the same time is difficult, especially with a job. And with children being expensive, sometimes one can't afford to go to school, and they would have to apply for a child assistance or other government assistance. This can be difficult for women if they don't have any support systems in their life. Having no degree limits one's availability for finding a good paying job, with minimum wage being around $7 to $9 the hour. It can be hard to support themselves. Minorities face the greatest challenge today. They have burdens on discrimination based on their ethnicity, restrictive traditional roles such as being a stay-at-home parent, taking care of the household, and raising the children. For women, it is most just cases in the poverty that they live in and face through. Girls from minority groups often live in remote geographic areas, making it hard to go to school, and if they would have to go to school, they would have to walk long distances just to get to school. Because of this, it makes it a challenge because they face personal security issues. This is invisible in education policy because of the lack of data analysis that's been collected in many countries and regions where there are women that need permission from their husbands or fathers just to go to school, request loans, start a business, travel, and other family issues that they have to go through. America has the best college and universities, but due to the tuition costs, it makes it difficult for others who can't afford to go to school to actually go to school. Today, with students taking out loans, they rack up debt. Education financially affects those who are trying to go to school. In many developing schools, parents have to pay for the books, uniforms, even teachers. Effects should be Efforts should be made to improve education. There should be action taken. Policies and programs should be involved to ensure that these are met